is up, internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus. Different octaves.
She's not a bass.
No, definitely not.
She sings too high. But this is not that. This is a different thing. That's the same thing. It's the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Season 2 trailer again?
Again? Swear to God, we just watched one of these.
We did. That was the 2 week ago trailer for San Diego Comic-Con that we didn't do a reaction to. Sorry.
Right.
We were busy. But we are going to do into this one because this show comes out in 2 weeks. 3 weeks. And
crazy. Is that Dragon Con? Oh, yeah. It's right before.
It's the Thursday before Dragon Con.
Oh, my God. Again.
So, yeah. It's going to be a good time, I think.
Yeah.
I like the horsies.
Yeah. The cavalry charge looks,
It looks
good.
Great. Let's dive into the trailer, and then we'll have more to talk about.
Great. Love it.
War's come to Middle-earth.
Oh, Jesus.
This is the work of Sauron.
Our armies cannot defeat him.
He's scary. Elrond's hair is
Once the
fluffy.
deceiver obtains a being's trust, he gains the ability to sculpt their very thoughts.
You are wise to fear these rings. In Sauron's hands, they could work an evil beyond reckoning.
Region must not fall. It would be a mortal blow for all Middle-earth.
Sooner or later, Sauron's eye bores a hole.
It is bad.
The rest
Yeah,
of
he
him
is.
slithers in.
You sought peace. I gave it to you. This is hardly a gift. What have you done to me?
What have you done to me?
Who are you? Truly. I am the one keeping the storm at bay.
Did Galadriel just not tell him that was Sauron?
Sauron is my enemy as much as yours. I can help you destroy him.
I will not stop until this is put right.
Every soul in the seen or unseen world will know that it was you who was the architect of their demise.
Honestly, this looks sick.
Yeah.
This trailer rocks.
At this moment,
Honestly.
Of the trailers we've gotten so far, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
is being written.
Oh, he is in
I
this
think it was
show.
only you who put yourself
It's
in my
weird they're
power.
hiding him, because he's one of my favorite parts of season 1.
Galadriel.
Right? Like they're almost like pretending he doesn't exist, and then he'll get like one
but
shot.
he's like, yeah, I don't know.
It is a little bit odd, unfortunately, because I think that actor's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, by far my favorite piece of marketing for the show from either seasons. I think this is my
Yeah.
favorite trailer from either season 1 or season 2.
Like that actually looks rad. Like it kind of got me a little hyped for it.
Yeah, and I've been saying, like, I think this show's gonna be the comeback show of the year. In that, like, I thought season 1 was fine, and at times
Like
not fine.
aggressively fine.
And I think that the lessons that the team could have learned from season 1 could create a really great season 2. I talk a lot about shows that have terrible season 1s that went on to be some of my favorite shows ever. Parks and Rec is one of them. Obviously, it's not on this scale, but I think that teams coming together and learning and building a show together is so much harder nowadays than it used to be, right? You used to spend 10 months of the year making your 22 episodes. And so by like episode 9, 10, you guys are cooking.
Yeah.
You've been on set together for months. You kind of have this like camaraderie between the crew and the cast. And when you come back for season 2, it's like it's year 2. You've only had a couple of months off. Maybe you went and shot a movie, but nowadays it's these really sporadic filming moments where we create TV and the opportunity for the crews to coalesce and really like have that camaraderie and bond that created so much of the television we've loved for so long. It's just that's not really an option anymore. But you can still learn a lot from a season of work together. And it looks to me like the visuals are really connected and cohesive. The CGI looks really strong. And I think that narratively, this trailer did the best job in selling me a story that I'm interested in watching.
Yeah, I loved the almost like horror vibe that they went for.
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
Especially with Celebrimbor.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. It makes like the stakes seem really high already in the trailer. Like there's like tension that's already there. I am really curious to know like why Galadriel did not share the information that she has, and like what the reasons are behind that, because that could be really interesting. You know, I hope it's not just like, oh, she just forgot to tell them. But I think that there's a lot of potential to play around with the narrative there. The one thing that's going to be so silly, is that they're like, you know, circles, the most powerful shape or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like, Nenya, I think, Galadriel's ring is not a full circle. It just goes like this. And I was like, that's an interesting design choice for a circle that's supposed to be the most powerful shape, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
My wife's nitpicking aside.
Come on, that's silly.
I'm kidding.
That's
I'm kidding,
silly.
I do think that this show is going to have a lot of work to do with its audience.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that works out for them. You know, I think that like the number that really sticks out for me from season 1 was the fact that like less than 30% of the audience of episode 1 finished the show.
Yeah.
And this show won't be able to survive at this level if they cannot improve that in season 2.
Yeah.
And so I'm rooting for them right now. I've liked the marketing for season 2 so far. This is my favorite piece of it, but none of it's been terrible to me.
Yeah.
And I think that the potential for something interesting is here.
Yeah.
I hope that there is something interesting here. I find it very peculiar. I've been very positive. I think it's fair to say I've been very positive. So allow me a moment of criticism. This episode, or this trailer, rather, really, and the other two, honestly, all the trailers so far have really been about Sauron.
Yeah.
And this show isn't about Sauron. And if they try and make the show about Sauron, I feel like they're going to struggle to make all of the other plot lines feel relevant at all.
Right.
And I do wonder how they're going to handle that. Because now that they've really pitched, this is Galadriel and Elrond / Elrond in his, like, boy band phase. That haircut is wild. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but for some of these shots, Elrond has, like, a fluffy,
it's really humid,
mushroom cap on his head.
Really, really humid.
It's cute. It's so cute. It just is so not elvish to me.
Yeah.
And that, like, if he was on Wednesday or, like, some Netflix show, I'd be like, oh, yeah, he's, like, the hot guy on the, like, show. But on Elrond here, his, like, fucking hair, I was like, is he trying to get laid? Like, what? He's going to war and he's, like, blowing it out in the back.
Bye, bye, bye. He's going to do the intro of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Anyway, this trailer and the previous 2 trailers have really pitched. It is Elrond and Galadriel against Sauron.
Yeah.
And that is not what season 2 set up. Or sorry, what season 1 set up. It was a piece of it, but I'm really curious to see why Nori, the Harfoots,
he's in one shot.
But we've had 3 trailers.
Yeah.
And all 3 trailers have been about the same plot lines.
Yeah.
And is it that this show doesn't have faith in those plot lines?
Well, no, the one trailer had more of the Gandalf stuff in it.
I want to get his name because he's actually, like, in all of the stuff I've seen this year of Rings of Power, in, like, getting ready for the show to come out, I want to make sure that I'm saying the actor's name because I don't want to get it wrong. Ismael Cruz Cordova, who plays Arondir, the elf in the south. I think he's wonderful. I think he's very talented. I really liked his action. A lot of my favorite action in season 1 was the stuff that he did.
And by far he has been featured the least, like by far out of like anybody else.
But he's a character who I think this show has more room to play with because of
there's no written history about this specific person, and so that gives you room to play. And I think that like actually leaning into that is better. Give us more stories, not just like we're gonna take the stories that you already know and like change things.
Because the problem with and here's my problem with the Sauron fight. Sauron, we know when Sauron loses. It's a really specific, important moment. Yeah. Right? And so, by setting up the whole show as they're fighting Sauron, you're establishing for the audience that they don't need to worry about anything because the only characters we see interact with Sauron are characters who don't die until 3,000 years later.
And also Sauron is...
And Sauron can't die in those scenes.
Yeah.
So you create this weird problem of... I didn't see Sauron in a scene with anyone who I don't know the date of their death.
Sure, yeah.
Have Arondir have those scenes.
Yes.
Set up that there's like tension because I don't know. Arondir could die in the first shot of the episode.
Yeah. He could die. He could turn evil. He could like be manipulated.
Anything.
That's what I mean. The infinite possibilities are there because it's like basically a blank slate. It's a sandbox to play around in, and I think that I definitely am hoping that they stick more to like adding new things to the world instead of changing established things.
The other thing I will say is I hope that whatever they're doing with the dwarves does not keep the dwarves locked in the mountain. Because the Elrond, Durin, Disa relationship
was fantastic.
Was so good in season 1.
Yeah.
And it does not seem like Durin and Elrond are in a scene together. And it does seem like Durin, Disa, the Durins and Disa, father and son, are just sort of talking about stuff in that throne room in every shot we've seen of them. Yeah. And maybe they're hiding stuff. I hope that it's that they're hiding stuff.
Yeah.
I just think that for 3 trailers, and one of those trailers was like 4.5 minutes. For 3 trailers to all be about one plot line to be about the only plot line that we know what happens in it.
Yeah.
And not all of the plot lines where we don't feels so strange to me.
Yeah.
Even though I liked this trailer a lot.
Yeah.
And it got me excited to watch the show. I want to be clear about that. They're separate ideas, but like you're showing me a lot about the characters that I'm very aware of.
Yeah.
And I want to know more about Disa. You know what I mean? Show me the other stuff. You did great stuff in season 1 with your actors of color, but then you're not featuring any of the plot lines in your trailers. It's just weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we put them in season 1, but like here's all of the white people, and then there's one shot of each of the people of color at the end in plot lines that aren't set up by the trailers in any way.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with that, even though I do think the trailers have thus far been better, and I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah, I think that all in all, this trailer was pretty great, better than I was expecting, and it did get me a little bit hyped for season 2, which does feel like tough to do considering how I feel about season 1.
Yeah.
So honestly, thumbs up, good job. I hope that the writers have learned and grown and become better as we all strive to do throughout our lives. You know, be better, do better, makes cool shit, and be happy.
What episode do you think they mentioned Celeborn in?
6.
All right. Okay.
Or do they?
Big theory.
Do
big
they?
Theory. Do we see Galadriel give birth to Celebrian in the show?
No.
So they're cutting Celebrian completely from Galadriel's history.
Kind of seems that way, yeah. Right now she doesn't have a husband.
Yeah.
So
if I'm really hoping that halfway through the season suddenly she is just like she's talking to some random kid she just met and goes, I had a daughter, Celebrian, haven't seen her in years. It would be hilarious if they just keep bringing up all this stuff from her lore that they haven't brought up.
It's like her talking, just
some random child that she meets for the first time in episode 7 of the season. She just suddenly reveals that she
had a child once. Yeah.
Anyway, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is...
Disa, and she's barely in this. Don't know what she's up to.
I'm really excited for the Balrog. Timing wise, it doesn't make sense, but it looks great.
It does.
If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye.
Bye.